Ever feel like you're playing chess but you don't know all the rules? Well, today we're unlocking a set of powerful thinking tools that can help you see the entire board, break through those frustrating barriers, and start making the kind of moves that truly shape your future.
And let's just start with a reality that I'm sure hits home for many of us. A recent survey found that more than a third of women feel their gender has held them back from a promotion or a raise. You know, this isn't just a number on a page. It's that gut feeling of hitting an invisible wall, and it's a challenge we need to tackle head on.
So when you're faced with that reality, what can you actually do? How do you go from feeling like you're just along for the ride in your own career to actually grabbing the steering wheel? The secret is learning how to change the equation entirely.
And that brings us to building a powerful mental toolkit. Seriously, think of it like upgrading your brain's operating system. Today, we're going to install 3 incredible apps for thinking that will help you take apart any problem and spot opportunities that most people just don't see.
Okay, so what in the world is a mental model? Well, think of it like a map of reality. The map isn't the city, right? But it's a super useful, simplified guide that shows you the main roads and landmarks so you can navigate a really complex world without getting totally lost.
Exactly. Think of these models as software updates for your brain. You're not just learning new facts, you're fundamentally improving how you process everything. It makes you a sharper problem solver and a way more confident decision maker.
All right, our first tool is all about becoming a kind of mental architect. It's called First Principles Thinking, and it teaches you how to deconstruct any problem right down to its absolute foundation. So the whole idea here is to stop thinking by analogy. Well, this is how we've always done it. Instead, you strip away every single assumption until you're left with only the things that are undeniably, fundamentally true.
Elon Musk is famous for using a simple 3-step process for this. First, you identify your assumption. Let's say it's, I can't ask for a raise because it's not in the budget. Okay. Step 2, break it down to a fundamental principle. A raise isn't really about the company's budget, it's about the value you create. Step 3, create a new solution. How can you demonstrate so much value that giving you a raise becomes the most logical decision they could make?
And what's so powerful about this is that it works on outside barriers, sure, but it also works on the internal ones. It helps you shut down that little voice in your head that says you're not experienced enough or not ready. First principles thinking lets you look that belief in the eye and ask, but is that really true?
Okay, so once you've deconstructed the now with first principles, our next tool helps you build a much better then. This is all about becoming a strategic thinker, looking way beyond the immediate choice to see the whole chain reaction it kicks off.
This is called second-order thinking, and it boils down to this simple but game-changing habit of asking yourself, and then what? You see, first-order thinkers solve the immediate problem, but second-order thinkers? They're already thinking 5 moves ahead.
Let me give you an example. First-order thinking is saying yes to that extra project to make your boss happy today. That feels good, right? But second-order thinking hits pause and asks, and then what? Will this project burn me out? Will it pull me away from my real priorities? Does it even get me closer to that promotion, or is it just more work? A quick decision might give you relief for like 10 minutes. But what's the potential cost in 10 months, or even 10 years? Getting a handle on this timeline is absolutely key to making choices that build a sustainable career, not just get you through the week. So for our final tool, it's all about playing to your strengths. It's about getting crystal clear on what you're amazing at and then operating from that zone with total, unshakable confidence.
This is your Circle of Competence. It's your personal area of expertise, that sweet spot where you have a deep understanding, where your judgment is solid and your decisions are sound. It's basically where you have the home field advantage.
Now here's the real secret to this model. It's not about how big your circle is. The real power comes from knowing exactly where the boundaries are. It's having the wisdom to say, I am an expert here, and the honesty to say, you know what, I need to learn more about that over there. Real confidence comes from knowing the difference.
I love this quote from a female CEO. She said, "Nobody is going to vouch for all the hard work you're doing, so don't stay quiet." When you operate from your circle of competence, you have all the evidence you need to speak up, advocate for yourself, and get the credit you absolutely deserve.
Because when you truly know your circle of competence, you can advocate for yourself so much more effectively. It gives you the power to ask for what you want,
whether that's leading a huge project, getting that promotion, or that pay raise, because you can clearly and confidently show the unique value that only you bring to the table.
Okay, let's tie this all together. These tools are amazing on their own, for sure, but they become a real superpower when you connect them into a single, seamless system for thinking. So let's do a quick recap of your new toolkit. You've got first principles to break down any assumption, you've got second-order thinking to see into the future, and you have your circle of competence to make sure you're always acting from a position of strength.
But the real magic happens when you start weaving these tools together, creating what's called a latticework of models. The goal isn't to just use one hammer for every problem. It's to build a whole toolbox so you have a flexible, powerful approach that can make you pretty much unstoppable.
What you've learned here today is so much more than just a few cool techniques. It's a brand new way of seeing the world and your own potential in it. This is your foundation for building a career that isn't defined by barriers, but by your own smart, confident decisions.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you have these tools in your back pocket, which limiting belief are you going to deconstruct first?